Dynamics Pro. 1, 2. Actually, sorry. Market Oracle first. Or Market Oracle Pro Plus. Oh, baby. 1, 2, 3. Dynamics Pro Plus. 1, 2. Oh, wait, that's the oscillator. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to blow up TradingView at this point. All right, let's do it. You can have your settings just like Alexo Crypto. Who would have thought? Do. So, OC, are you long?
Yep.
Are you short? Are you happy? Are you sad? Talk to the people. Tell us.
I'm happy. I'm happy. Basically, I did jump in back in the retracement. Hopefully, it plays out nicely. I did two market opens. One at our public account and another one on my private account. This might be something to talk about because I think you know, but guys, do you guys know what's going to happen in 2 hours and 30 minutes? We got a meeting,
Crypto
an
talking
important
guy, right?
Yes, exactly. So
Isn't
hopefully
he
they
announce that you guys should all subscribe to Alexo Crypto?
Absolutely. He says that right now the US is going to be following Alexo Crypto's investment plan and they're going to be ditching the US dollar and then picking up the other crypto. The other coin.
I knew it. I knew it. I knew they were on to me, man. They've been taking my trades every morning and not telling anybody to like and subscribe. I don't understand. That's not really fair, you know?
Well, they rated your channel last time, right? How many viewers you got? Like,
oh man, 7,800.
Holy shit, man!
From bots, man. I had 7,000 bots in my stream.
Still pretty good viewership. That's gonna be pumping up that video, I think. Oh,
it's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. I don't know. I'm not gonna be updating my indicators just yet. Maybe afterwards, and I will be creating a video, maybe a static video, to explain my settings because we have a lot of questions. But I mean, you can go ahead and do it. I don't mind at all.
No. I'll do it in the background. I don't know if people
No, man.
want
I
to
didn't
copy
mean
me.
to. I didn't mean to. I bought the bot membership, hoping they were real people, but understanding they may have been bots. Oh, nice.
Oh, I just got rated one live stream by like all of a sudden my viewers, because I normally have like 300, 400 viewers. It went to 7,700. Like it was like 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. I was like, what the is going on? It was pretty wild.
Nice. Oh man. Let me bring up my charts in the meantime. Let me show you guys what I see on Bitcoin. It's like in the middle of nowhere. Like, I mean, guys, I'm sorry to tell, but this is one of the times that I'm going to be telling you either it goes up or down, right? So,
That's not very fair. You got better than that, OC. Come on.
Of course that I got better than that. Oh, by the way, I'm looking also at NU.
He's looking at convincing me to buy XRP because I said
buy. Oh yes. No. Yesterday was my first warning. Third warning is the charm, man.
$1.50, I promise you I'll buy.
All right, I'll be watching that like a hawk.
I'll buy XRP at $1.50.
You heard it here first. Bitcoin is going to zero.
Exactly.
Nice. All right, let's go over. Well, I'm looking at investing on new guys. This is just a quick setup. If if you're looking for something, I am looking for this. If you want to do your own analysis, please do. This is going to my private wallet. In fact, this is going to be pushed to my fiance. She's the one in charge of buying and selling stocks in metals, right? I am in charge of doing crypto only. And that, ooh, wait. We need to pause the stream for this explanation. So, here we go. So guys, thank you for staying here. If you're watching this on YouTube, come back and come into the live classes because I got golden nuggets for you
All
guys.
the secrets are in there.
Exactly. All the secrets are in here, man. And as I was telling you on the pause on the cut, you need to pay every single penny on your taxes. Please do. That's important for your country because based on your taxes, you make politicians rich, and then also you make new, you get what? New streets, better healthcare, and everything that your government should be. Oh, man. They're making holes in my ceiling, by the way. So yeah, be a responsible citizen and go with your taxes. All right. I love it, man. All right. So other than that, I was looking at this. You know the story. But let's go to Bitcoin. This is it. What is it? All right. I think this is the one that I'm going to be scrabbling on. So if you haven't taken any breakfasts, be aware that this is going to be a bit of spaghetti. So take a look at the 4 hours here. We had a rounded top or something that looks like a rounded top. We have a lower low. This is freakishly scary. All right. And right now we have a lower high, man. I mean, of course that we have right here a higher low, and this is what I'm gonna be debating at this point, right? So what position are we gonna be looking for, or what could be the purpose of it, right? Why did I jump in here at the retracement, and why is it such a dangerous zone, and why did I decide to jump with another half of a position? Remember, I'm almost at the edge of my final allocation, and after that, I will not be allocating anything else, setting my stop loss, and then just letting it go and riding as it needs to be done. Already my strategy is coming to an end, and then I just need to trust the process. All right. So basically, jumped in here because we're creating a little bit of a goose head in here. What does a goose head indicate? Remember, let's take a look at, for example, this other goose head and what happened here. So we ranged a little bit, we went high, and then we retraced. All right. So that's exactly what I'm expecting. By the way, a full-fledged goose head like this one, all right, this is what I'm expecting on a goose head, to be honest. Like, this is the perfect goose head setup. High, further movement, and then the goose is not to be trusted, man. Those freaking things chase you around, right? And then it dumps on you, right? So it is a further move to the upside to then retrace. I'll take this itty bitty retracement. Don't get me wrong, all right? But this, when I talk about a goose head, this is what I'm trying to express. Something like a Bart Simpson without being a Bart Simpson, if that makes sense. So we're having a goose head not in an optimal zone. Why? Because I want to be above the zero line, right? And if you cannot see the zero line, let me just paste it in here for you and double click. Come on, let's do 0. Click OK, and that is the zero line. All right, so it needs to be above the zero line, somewhere around this faint area up here. That's what I want to see the goose heads, right? And so for them to play it out positively, right? Or to create that higher high. At this point, we are right at the edge of that zero line. So this is dangerous. Why? Because we could be doing something like that, which interprets something like this. And what happens, we flat out, right? We did not have enough strength to push further up, and then it flops on you. Right, so this is why this is very, very, very careful, right? So V-shaped recovery, you had your high, you create your goose head, it flats out, right, and then dumps on you. So we had our movement here, we have our high, V-shaped recovery, goose head. Seems like we're flattening out. We need to, we are not 100% sure just now. So that's why I took that risk. And then if it flats out, be careful because we're going back down. Maybe to create a double bottom. That remains to be seen, all right? So at this point, are we going up or down? I cannot tell you at this point, especially because we have a new meeting up above. But I believe that the markets are just holding to see whether if the speech is going to be hawkish, right? Or bearish. We'll see. So other than that, we have a rounded top, and then we have a lower low and a lower high. So what are we going to be looking for at this point? That this could be becoming maybe a dead cat bouncing here, maybe trying to create a higher high. It flops, and then we move forward to the downside. We need to be very, very careful. Alex of Crypto was talking about this, I believe, yesterday, which was this area of interest, right? And then we also saw this huge area right here, which is emptiness, right? So the next area of support for me, it's going to be around this zone. I know it's a zone, but if you want like pinpoint numbers, 85K. Remember, we had an alert on right here, which is, there we go. You see my zone right now, somewhere around, 96, 94. Oh, sorry, that was not it. Where is it? Oh, it's not here. All right, well, I still need to make them. So let's make them together here. I don't know, maybe I close them. So I'm going to be also just moving it slightly below and then moving this slightly above, just to concentrate or try to grab as many candles as I can, right? So right here, I'm going to right click it. I'm going to, give me guys 1 second. All right, I'm going to lock this one. I'm going to be doing the same, locking the second one. Back again to the first one, right click and add alert, right? And then let's do OC. For the love of God, enter here. Do not let this one go. All right. Yeah, man. And then let's add another one, and let's do dude last chance. Read above. All right. So create it. There we go. That's gonna be so hilarious when I read that. That's also gonna be making me run to enter right here. Of course, I'm not gonna blindly entering here. All right, I'm gonna be looking at my oscillator. When I want to see, it is either the oscillator at the very bottom or having a flip of the ribbon right there. And also, I'm gonna be turning on my VPVR, and what I want to see, it is low volume. And boop, maybe a big disparity, right? I'm okay entering late, slightly late in here, right? Let me show you like what? Like, for example, entering late on this week, all right? If we were expecting this week, maybe you did not caught it, you wait one more candle for confirmation, and then what happens? You wait for maybe, look at that flip of the ribbon. What's gonna be your next entry? Sorry, right there at one candle after, or even one more candle, it doesn't matter, right? And then you just take profits as we go up. In this case, was a little bit tight in here. You had 2 chances before flopping back down before you lose your 0.9, all right? So there we go, I'll be okay. It will be okay for me to enter a little bit late. And why is that? Let me show you what had happened before in those areas, right? Look at, for example, this kind of movements as we retrace back to it. So we retrace back to it, all right, boom. We retrace back to it, boom, right? Breakout retest, right? So I believe that we could be having a wild movement around these areas. So basically telling me that we are still within the market, bullish market, right? And maybe having a first run up here, maybe retracement, and then run up the next run up there. Why? Because of volume, right? Remember, volume allocates as we go on. That's why you have a yellow or a vanilla colored section. This is where your price action is at, right? This is where your price action is at. And as long as this dotted line is within this channel, whatever happens in here volume-wise, so any buys and sells, are going to be allocated here, and then they're going to be discriminated here on this next one. Why do I talk about discrimination? It is because this is raw volume, and this is the outcome of that volume. So you have, I don't know, 100K of sales, and maybe you have 200K K of buys, right? That's why buy plus K, sell negative, you have a positive 100K of green. In this case, we have more sales so far collectively on history, right? On all this history, collectively, we have more sales than buys. All right, so that's why it's negative right there. So again, I'm gonna be looking at the disparity or at the volume discrimination once we are on these two areas right down here. Is it a guarantee? No. In fact, I do expect that this is the last time we see 94. If we can have a hawkish outcome today, I believe that it's just about time to cut out the noise. And remember that we even grabbed this length, right? But right now already have taken, the president of the US already have taken office. All of the changes are gonna be directly reflected on the market, not only in crypto, on the whole markets. In fact, I do believe that there is going to be a big reaction to other markets and then reallocation of money on crypto, because right now, remember, crypto is still a child, still very on in infant beginnings, right? What I mean with that, its market cap, it's lower and smaller than, I don't know, what you like, Meta, right? Way smaller than Meta. So just so you have an idea, right? Right now we're talking about kind of like a startup, right? Startup. So just a little parenthesis, just so you know, because I have had, whenever I do or say that, I get, hey man, you are wrong, because how much is Meta and how much is Bitcoin worth, right? That has nothing to do with its market cap. Well, it does have to do with market cap, but its market cap divided by, or times by, divided by, depending on how you read it, depending on which part of the world you are on, semantics, talking about semantics, divided by, what is it? Circulation, current circulation and max production of it. So basically that will give you the current price of it. And right now you can actually see that on, what was? Outstanding shares. Oh yeah, number of outstanding shares, but that is when we're talking about Meta. You are completely correct, right? And let me just move this out of the way because I want to look for, oh man, I forgot the name of this chart. Remember the last chart that wrecked everyone? That was the stock to flow.
Yeah, that guy wrecked everybody. Didn't he call for like 250,000 last run?
Oh man, Plan
B, right? Is he Mexican?
That's hilarious. What? Is he Mexican? Could be.
You said 500,000, didn't you, OC?
I did 500,000. By the way, guys, I need to say a disclosure. It's not that I'm gonna be committing to the 500,000. That's one of my 3 analyses. I grabbed it because I was the most bullish and the most interesting to show, right? But yeah, look at that. Based on the stock to flow, so this is what it should be, not what it is. What does that mean? That based just in pure math, we should be right now somewhere around 478, right? But based on how much people, or how's markets in the world, right? How's global economy? How much money does people have, right? Where is the market allocation? Maybe US, how US is doing, right? Maybe do we have fluctuation of capital? Don't we, etc., 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 etc. That takes it to the real price based on what it should be on the stock to flow prediction, right? Something like that. It's not completely true. I want to make that disclosure because stock to flow, it's another kind, it involves another setup. But let's just stop nerding out here. So basically, just take a look at this. Do not take it for granted because last time we were looking at 100K and we flopped at 66. All right, so be careful with that one. But at this point, we should be at 451 based on the stock to flow index here. So just letting you guys know, all right? Based on that, that's why I believe that this could be the last time that we see these prices, but take that with a grain of salt. I'm also taking that as a grain of salt with my own, because if we gone back down, I'm gonna be calling out what I say today, a dead cat bounced, all right, which is gonna be taking us to the next area of entry, and then flopping all the way down. I mean, if we get to 76, I would say that this is over and we should be looking for shorts only going forward. But I don't know. Let me throw it to you, Alex. I think it's enough of me. And I want to also hear your opinion what might be happening in the upcoming zones. I'm looking, and of course, if you want to, right? I'm looking for debating my statements because I want to fireproof it. I want to see if you agree, if you disagree, to be harsh and straightforward to it.
So, do you think we're going up or down? Is what I want to know.
Okay, I believe that we're going up.
Okay. How do you think we're going to get there? That is always going to be the question. We can go over today and talk about, and I have updated my charts now. So you have the highest super version of chart prime power at your disposal
Nice.
now. So you're stuck with me. If you're wondering how I do it, you got order blocks, liquidity zones, and VWAP. You got fair value gaps and volume. I changed the row size on my volume to 50, okay, and 150 length, okay? Just so you see that, so it's not too cluttered. Then I put on market structure, okay? Point of control kind of stays on all the time. Then we got premium and discount and predictive ranges, something I like a lot, just to kind of see where I'm at. Don't change those at all. Okay, so that's my dynamic setup. Then I have all my signals on one. Okay, the next one, I have my band or my reactors. So I have dynamic and quantum reactors. Okay, with so just my dynamic and quantum reactors here. Then I have sorry, wrong one. Dynamic quantum reactors. Then I have a colorful one, I call it. Okay, this has bands, candle structures, prime range, candle highlighting. Okay, and candle structures too. So you're bullish engulfing, you're bullish falling 3. Okay, all of that good stuff all in there. So that's kind of how I set it up. One thing maybe OC can elaborate on, maybe I can learn something too, is how would you use, sorry, because I don't use this that often, so maybe OC can teach me something today. MTF, support and resistance. Maybe you can show me some tricks with the MTF, because I do not use MTF at all. And the weekly pivots, this is the new point, highs and lows. Weekly pivots I like. And I don't use patterns. I'm not a pattern bro. But maybe MTF would be something I could add, because I do like support and resistance. I do plot my own support and resistance on the charts, but maybe OC can show us some tricks with that, because OC is, I'm young Padawan, he is Master Jedi, right? So this morning, one loss, one win. Key to this, I got long right here, okay, off of VWAP. You can see VWAP coming in here, the retest of VWAP, looking for a continuation, just looking for a move up to this high, just a little scalp this morning. And then it came back, and I only went half a position size in here. So this is the problem with my trading this morning. Now, I did take a loss, but it didn't have to be a loss, okay? So as we were coming down in here, I said, I'm going to add to the trade. So my entry is here. Let me get rid of this. Now, sometimes I do this to get out of a position, but I have to, this is the problem, I have to follow my rules. If I'm going to do this, I have to follow my rules. So I'm long from here, and it rolls over. I'm only half a position size, so my stop loss is down here. I have lots of room. I said to the community, I'm going to add to this down here once I see some strength, and then I'm going to get out break even. Okay? This is a trick because I can lower my entry and I can get out. Okay? So what happened is it came down. I added to my position because of the strength. It came up. I was $70 in profit here. And I held on to it. And then I got stopped out down here for a $300 loss. My rules, what I said I was going to do was get out here. During the live stream, I got swayed by the community. You know what I mean? So I broke my rules. I took a $300 loss this morning. Actually, 400 with fees. So 400 with fees down here. Then we push up into here, into VWAP again. And I see volume come in on my charts. Remember, I tell you guys always to look at volume. Okay, I see the volume coming in on my charts. Okay, volume comes in my charts. I get long here. And I make $600 on this push up. 500 or 600? Not even 500. $468. Okay, there's that one there, off that long there. Okay, there's that one there, and then the loss is, oh, the loss wasn't as bad as I thought. The loss was $230. Okay, see, I don't even know the numbers yet, so we're all learning together right now. $230. Okay, however, I didn't have to take that loss if I followed my rules. I would have been, break even on that trade, and I would have made that $500. Okay, so always reflecting, trying to get better, right? Great trade. Nonetheless, we caught the long all the way up. Beautiful take one, take profit two, let the rest ride. It came back, stopped me out in profits. Okay, beautiful trade this morning. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Okay, so a good one. I'm looking for a continuation here. Possible trade up into this high. So let's zoom out a little bit for OC and give him my thoughts, because he asked me for my honest and brutal opinion, and I'm always looking forward to giving it to OC and to say, hey man, this is what's gonna happen, whether you like it or not. Okay, I'm kidding. Okay, so what do we have here, right? It's a very V-shaped recovery, very ugly, right? Obviously, Sunday rollover dump, everybody gets liquidated, $10 billion. Then we have a push and a continuation here. Not fully coming down, so 95,600 is kind of my key level if we are going to roll over. Okay, rollover bounce is very much my make or break level. We'll see if we get there. Okay, and you can see in here areas, key levels. Okay, that's for my community, 95,500. I always share my community stuff with you guys because it's my job. That's why. So three white soldiers pushing up here. If we close positively in the next three hours, happy days. Okay, that would be bringing us into 11, 12, 1, 2:30. Ooh, what's coming at 2:30, OC? Interesting. But nonetheless, what we can see here is we want price to hold here. Now, both of these highs and lows are actually pretty shit, in my opinion. So if we look at this here, we go swing high to swing low. We have come up. Now, I would go, because the move actually started from this high, I would go here with my golden pocket, and we haven't hit anything really. Okay, we've hit a retracement area, but not really, we haven't hit like a 786 or anything. So if anything, I would look for the fake out, bearish divergence, and break down to that 95 before heading upwards, okay? That would be one situation that I'm in favor of. However, V-shaped recovery out of here with a retrace. Now, what did I say about this retrace? I think this is a 382, actually quite perfectly. So this is a bullish continuation, right? So a 382 bounce would suggest that we have an aggressive continuation. So if we do go from this low in here, we can expect a pretty nice aggressive push, okay? Not saying it's going to happen. I'm saying this is what we can expect if we bounce from this area, okay? So there's some hopium, but you don't want to give you all the hopium, okay? What is the bear case? So if we zoom out here and we look, and we can use any sort of volume tool. We can use the one that we just put on here as well. See, now I don't know where to click. You guys did it to me. It's your fault. But if we look at our volume, right, we can see that we have a big huge shelf of volume in here, okay? We need to stay above this area, okay? That's going to be the best for price action, okay? You can see the big sweep of the lows. Now, this is my little secret that I shared with everybody on the live stream this morning. Do you know what we have here, OC? We
What do
have
we
a
have there?
hidden bullish divergence on the daily. Okay.
Man, I was not expecting that one. But now that you mention it, also Daggett also mentioned it a couple of classes ago, didn't he?
So we have a hidden bullish divergence on the daily.
Nice.
Could be super bullish. This is the hopium, okay? This is the like, hey man, if we go from here and we pump from here, this is confirmed and then we're gone. Could be very bullish. Okay, so this is the hopium, in my opinion, is that hidden bullish divergence on the daily because we have made a higher high and a lower low on our oscillator. Okay, so if you want to smoke the hopium, there it is for you. However, we need to be level-headed. What have we done right now? We go into our 15-minute time frame. What have we done? We've created liquidity below us quite aggressively, right? So we haven't come back for literally any of this liquidity in here. Do we see a sweep before the pump? Most likely, in my opinion. Okay. Sweep would be sufficient, would be this 95-200 area. We have a big order block in here, but if we're trying to be more accurate, 95-2, if we're going to roll over. I'm looking for a continuation trade right now, just up into this golden pocket at 100,800, and then a rejection down. So I'm looking for a little bit of a fake out right now, and then a retracement. We'll see if we get it. Okay, we have locally in here, we have bounced off of our golden pocket and our 786. Okay, so these were two buy levels I had this morning, looking for price to continue. If we're looking locally, we can see, get rid of our areas, get rid of our big box that we must hold. So we're holding on for dear life right now. Okay, but if you're looking here from swing low to swing high, you would have had a perfect entry on both of these trades. Where this would have been pulled to here, to this high in here. You can see this high here, right? So this morning, right, you had one golden pocket, you had two 786, okay? So you had two perfect entry trade setups here. We got long here, right? And I am in no trade right now. So I'm looking for this possible continuation, maybe something like this and go. And maybe we just keep ripping from here. I'm not here to tell you which way we're going to go right now because this is uncertainty, right? This is very volatile and no very clean structure. So for now, we got two options. One, we push. Where do we push to? Where are our targets? So we push first and foremost, we need to get through this area right in here, 100,800. Then we got liquidity, order block, and liquidity, okay? All the way up to 106,000. What's good about this is that we have entered basically the bottom of this range. So if we're treating this as a range, right, we are now entering discount, okay? Which means you want to buy low and sell high, right? So if we're treating like the range, that's our range, right? So we're at the bottom of the range, getting acceptance back in here. You can use like a fixed range volume profile tool and grab some of the volume in here. And you can see there is a nice chunk of volume here that we're currently sitting on, okay? Can we remain here? Or are we going to come down and revisit this area in here? Okay. And you can see for us to push from here, there's not a lot of volume for us to get to that high in here at $102,000. Okay. So expect some whip sawing, but also be prepared, right? We can pull the volume back completely, maybe just including these highs. And we can see in here as well that really you want to stay above this area. You got a big chunk. Remember, we've talked about this big chunk, this big range in here. If we get rid of this range in here, you want to stay on top of this range in order to remain bullish. Okay, if this is a liquidity sweep and liquidations and stop hunts and all that stuff, then we want to see this thing at minimum chop in here and then break out. Okay, because this would be our spring, our bullish divergence, and our continuation to the moon. Okay, so for now, I would remain patient in these markets because it's going to be a very interesting ride today. I would not be surprised if they send it down before they push it up. I wouldn't be, because everybody's trying to front run, and when you try to do that, you typically get hurt. Okay, so we'll see how this plays out. For now, right? If we're looking locally, where we can look for a possible trade setup, and just in general, using our tools here. Yeah, golden pocket predictive range line in here. So we're looking somewhere in here for a possible retest and continuation out. Okay, if we get it, where we can use some good risk management and target up to that premium zone, which is probably right around my key area in here. Okay, it's above it, so that's great. Take profit 1, take profit 2 kind of deal. So that's what I'd be looking for, but I would suggest staying out of it today and not getting overexposed to the market that has been, pretty wild. And, we have some hopium in like ETH. ETH is trying to push and continue, right? We're looking for a long in here on ETH. We'll see how it goes. Solana, okay, nice recovery here, trying to push up and onwards. The problem is, in my opinion, you look at all these altcoin charts, is that you haven't really come back for a lot of these people in here, right? So when you do this, right, there's very much an opportunity for the market maker to do something like this. That's all. I always try to, you want to get in on this double bottom continuation trade, right? You don't want to get in up here because you're very much exposed at that point and you're asking for trouble. So patience for now. We'll see if we do come back down in here and get a bounce, right? This big sweeps. Look at this, like push up. That was a good long this morning. Big Bart Simpson down, right? So how do you want to trade it? I would suggest you wait it instead of trade it, right? And that's kind of what I'm looking at. So for now, patience. Set the trap. Get on the trend, which is up, but do it possibly after the news, because that's going to be the thing that really tries to shake people out. And to be overexposed, and it's just like trading FOMC or any kind of news thing like that. Like everybody knows about it. Everyone knows. So why would you put your hand in the alligator's mouth, right?
Absolutely. There is a question from Dicer. So if Bitcoin goes up 86, and this is referring to the my alerts that I place in here. He says, if goes up 86, do you think no altcoins or altcoin season, or start altcoin seasons then dominance it's so high? That for altcoin season to start, I want to see the final push in Bitcoin. So Bitcoin keep going up while dominance starts going down. That for me tells me there's the last push in Bitcoin, and we're seeing rotation of capital start happening. That's when I will say that concession starts. But let me show you what I think is going to happen with Bitcoin, or not that I think so, but I'm preparing in case this is the case, right? Look at the pattern of the whole this thing, right? This is looking like a big megaphone or a rounded top. All right, let's take a look at last time that we had something like it. And this is it. Look at that rounded top once again, right? And remember that I show you guys that at this point we already have a V-shaped recovery, right? And remember that right now I also told you guys that we could be having a goose head to then keep going upwards. Let me show you. Where's my little pen? There we go, right? So after this, where was the goose head? Right here. And what happened? We kept going upwards to then retrace, then make that double bottom again, going back down, so on and so forth. And we made a lower high. We broke the pattern here. We created a little range below the trend line, and we lost it. All right. So there is a high possibility, which again, I don't think that we are here. But based on this pattern and this pattern only, right, I think there's a high possibility that we are making this high. All right. We came back down. In fact, what happened is that we did not have this little range, but we have the V-shaped recovery and we're creating this thing. So this is the last thing that I'm trying to trade, and then the range, because if we hit this area, there is 70% chances of ranging. And I think, or I'm almost sure, I'm 70% sure that we're going to have a range if the next high happens. All right. Even though we hit the high and then we retrace. The only dangerous part, it is, remember, 86 for me is going to be this zone. Entering on 86 on DC8 for me is going to be regardless. I'm not going to be even questioning my strategy or anything. It is just low enough for me to make a purchase for my holding backs. That's it. No leverage, pure Bitcoin, and then sending it over to my vault. That's it, right? And then I need to look for structure here. So look at that. It's not about the breakout, it's about the retest. Then we still had a little bit of that hopium, and then we flop. If we lose that, which is going to be, I think, what you mentioned, 86. This is going to be the 86, and this is going to be, I think, the 88. All right. If we lose the 86, I think we are basically doomed. And we're going to be visiting lower lows and then creating a farther structure to the downside. Are we going to have a secondary top like we did? It's unknown. But so far, if we break the 86, I'm going to be going bearish on everything until we start seeing the breakout retest. All right. Until that, I'm going to be going for shorts, for shorts, for shorts, for shorts, skipping longs until I go for a short. I got stopped out, and then I find a retrace. I changed my strategy back to bullish, and for longs, for longs, for longs, for longs, for longs, for longs, so on and so forth. All right. Something else that I want to show you. Usually the third one is the charm. When we're talking about Wyckoff, in this case we have more than 3, but we need to discriminate. Depending on how far you're looking at the chart, you need to set up a minimum size of your patterns, right? So for example, this is not a Wyckoff for me on the 4 hours. This is too small for a Wyckoff. But if you look at this on the 30 minutes, it is definitely a Wyckoff, all right? So another one that I do discriminate, it is sometimes, I mean, this one or this one, whichever. Since both are almost the same, let's just keep it. But look at that. Coming down, 1, 2, 3, and the third one is the charm. Then we should have seen, and look at that, when we broke, look at the distance that we went down. Or if you want to even do it like better, let's go from here to there, and then just make a line from point to point. There we go. And I mean, it's not even close. I mean, it was way shorter, right, than the last dump. And of course, even half or less than half of the previous dump, and so on and so forth. All right. So this is when you know the third one was the charm, and we should be at this point ranging. This was kind of the black swan, which was FTX just losing it all. All right. But if this wouldn't happen, we would have seen all of this thing playing out faster. So as you can see, I'm counting with 1, 2, and 3, and this is a tip for the bear market. It's not that we are there yet, but we need to start learning it, so when it happens, we know what to expect. All right. So remember at this point, let me just clear this up, or I'll do that later. Let's just double click here, double click here. Remember at this point where we are located. We are right here at the rounded top, making or trying to make a lower or a dead cat bounce. All right. So this could be a little bit of that Wyckoff pattern. Be careful, be aware, because if we do our next Wyckoff scenario and we lose it, well, then remember what we just learned. The third one is the charm, and the third one could be going all the way down to 70, 60, 60s, 70s, all right, to previous highs. Again, it's not the time right now for you to panic at all, please, right? I mean, I know I just kind of, like I told you, Yeah,
You
I
haven't
know
even
it
seen
kind
it.
of like told you, hey
Not
guys, you're
even
gonna lose
close.
it all, but don't panic, right? So now just have a plan. Just have a plan. Look at how far behind we're trying to create a plan, right? So you have enough time to do so. Also,
If
as
anything,
Carrie
you
had
should be
mentioned,
bullish into April.
I think so.
If you
I
want
think
like date and time,
yes.
March, April, sell and may go away. That should be your target. That's my target. Obviously, we will tell you like when we're selling. I'll tell you when I'm selling. You know, I have my portfolio went down $130,000. My altcoin portfolio, $130,000 on that dump. Now I'm down $70,000. So I made 60 grand in the last day. This is the yo-yo. Okay.
Yes.
I'm in it there too. But the worst thing you could have done yesterday is sold, right? You look at it now. So you got to be in it to win it. I always suggest you got to be at least 80% Bitcoin. I don't care what you say, because I bought Bitcoin sub $25,000 and I'm 80% Bitcoin. So you can think about it. You know, my Bitcoin went down 7%. Whoop-de fucking do. I'm up 4x from that low, right?
Right.
So, you know, I think the people who feel the pain the most, they're overexposed in altcoins, and that's what you've set yourself up for. You have to be prepared for the volatility. Altcoin season isn't here yet. Not even close. There's no signs of topping signals on Bitcoin. We're always watching this, right? There's no signs of topping signals on Bitcoin. There's no signs of capitulation into alts. There's no signs of Bitcoin dominance retracing. Okay, so right now we're not even there, and there's just you look at what's coming in the pipeline. It's nothing but bullish news. So who are you got to
Absolutely.
ask yourself, who are you selling to if you're selling, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So let me just wrap it up on my side to tell you guys that remember when Alex mentioned what do you think is going to happen, up or down, and I clearly say up. All right. So that would be setting you up with my own feeling, right? No analysis, with my own feeling, my own speculation. But again, we're trying to prepare you for what might come unannounced. All right, so just be careful out there. You already have the knowledge. Save this. This is being recorded. It's gonna be up in the YouTube and also in the class recordings. So I'm gonna be calling this "Prepare for the Bear Market." So something like that. And you got a question there, Alex. I said, what about maybe we are seeing the start of the shoe pattern, as Carriot mentions.
Is that
Iscariot,
on yeah, I see what you mean. On like a
time frame
5-minute time
maybe.
frame, 3-minute time frame. Yeah, it's starting. Yeah, we've had the dip down, right? Absolutely. On the
He says on the
daily. Oh,
daily.
okay. On the daily. Well, yeah, I think we were looking at this. I wouldn't call this a nice shoe, man. It's if we're looking at this thing, right? You'd want to see like a shoe pattern on the daily would look like this. This would be a shoe pattern on the daily. Okay? Long here. SFP the lows. That's your shoe pattern on the daily. Okay? Uh so yeah, this would have to drag out days, right? Days on end. Right now this is not dragging out days on end. So on the daily, right, the shoe pattern, if we go on the 5-minute, here's the shoe pattern for you, right? So the shoe pattern hits the low and then it trickles down, right? So you get the stiletto, and then you get the trickle down slowly, 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 mitigation of the low, and you get long. That's the shoe pattern. I love trading it. So you'd have to see this, and that's like, this should be a bit more choppy in here. Let me see if I can find another one for you. No. So on the daily, you'd have to have, Yeah, it'd have to be elongated. So let's look at just in general where you would see a shoe pattern on the daily. Slim pickings in here, man. So if this is going to be a shoe pattern, right? This would be your stiletto, and this would have to trickle down like this. Then you'd have to have a mitigation of the low and then continuation upwards. So you'd need, a lot more candles in here. If you think this is a low that's not the same, it's not, you'd have to be high to low, bounce, and then you're trickling in, okay? Not a shoe pattern. If we're looking at one, yeah, I would say like this is an example. If this high wasn't in here, this would be an example. Okay, so if this high wasn't here, if you just trickle down like that, that'd be an example. There's not that many on the daily. It's more of a, I would say like 15-minute time frames where you're generally looking for this pattern. There's a good one. Zip, trickle down, okay? Bounce, okay? There's one right there. Zip, trickle down, bounce. Yeah. It's basically, if you're charting it out, right? It's like you're coming up, you dip down, you bounce quite aggressively, and then you chop sideways, creating a divergence, right? Right? It creates a divergence because this happens so fast, right? Naturally, you create a divergence with this because what happens when price moves, it's all about speed, right? So when price moves quickly and slowly, we always want to think about it that way, right? So divergence will be created like this. So if price is making a quick move here, you're getting a little blip on your stochastics, right? You're getting a little blip on your stochastics, and then this one's long, right? And that will give you that divergence, okay? And sometimes this doesn't need to make a higher low. This can just come out in here and then go, right? So it's all about speed with that shoe pattern, but not on the daily. Hopefully that clarifies that for you.
Absolutely. So I think we are coming at the end of the session. Let's get prepared. Let's get some popcorn to watch the next meeting, guys. Be patient. If you want to jump into volatility, be my guest, guys. But please set a stop loss, manage your risk, manage your entries. Right? There's many things to do so. For example, right? As an example, you can do very low entries at a higher leverage, or you can do small entry size, small leverage, and then just take it and re-enter, take it and re-entry, so on and so forth. So whatever you do have a plan for it. Do not get wrecked from it, right? So I think it's going to be very, very, very interesting. And I think this week is going to have a ton of volatility, but I think it's going to be defining where we're going to be moving throughout this cycle. If we have this big movement that I'm expecting, hopefully we do, I think that will define we're going to be moving either up or down from now. I believe so. That's going to be to the upside with volatility in the meantime, with a couple of maybe 2 weeks or so. Other than that, Alex, you want to say the goodbyes and wrap the class up?
Yeah, guys, have a wonderful rest of your day. Get that popcorn out, baby. Let's go. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Guys, thank you so much for joining. As always, see you guys tomorrow.